Alright, ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the long wait. That took longer than expected feeding the boys. But now we can begin anew. Let's get started with today's reading of Kaiju number 8. Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to more Kaiju number 8. We're going to be going through volume 6 of the series, covering chapters 44 all the way to 51. Now, last we left off, Kafka has been accepted to continue working as a defense officer and be seen as a human after his slight scuffle with Director General Isao. But it also has caused Kafka to get like a mental block in his head due to what happened during that fight where he literally lost control. The kaiju side of Kafka completely took over and basically threatened the life of Director Isao. So now Kafka is currently going through a mental block where he can't actually transform because a giant, and we also got introduced to Ren Nagumi, who is the second in command to General Isao himself, and also the captain that Kikoru is serving under. And they're pretty much, and he's pretty much humanity's greatest soldier, if you want a good comparison. And Kikoru's dealing with him being basically a massive nerd, but also the fact that he doesn't care about formalities or anything, he just expects results. So they go out, they start fighting kaiju, and then number 9 shows up, directly in front of Kafka, who can't transform. So now we have Kikoru, who comes barreling in, preparing to take down the very same Daikaiju that almost killed her the first time. So let's get started with today's chapter. Chapter 44! And we have Kikoru, who is basically also, if it seems like my camera's a little bit closer, I was moving it so that it wouldn't wobble as much when I do stuff. And here I am messing with it again when I shouldn't be. Because I wanted to get it in a good spot. I wanted to get it in a good spot where it's level. It doesn't seem like it's tilted too much. Alright, we're good. I ain't gonna mess with it. I can't promise that either. But, Kikoru is standing here in front of number 9, who has managed to, duplicate himself amongst many other of these ant kaiju, basically like spores. And she's standing in front of number 9, preparing to protect Kafka. General Isao is, you can see on his face that he's concerned that his daughter is in front of this kaiju. But then the bald-headed dude, one of the ball-headed board members is right next to him, and he goes, "Don't move, Isao. Don't move, Isao. You plan on deploying yourself if number 8 goes berserk. I admire your resolve, but using the number's weapons shaves years off your life. Keep up the repeated usage and it'll be lethal." So the entire time Isao has been using Kaiju number 2's gauntlets and gear, it actually takes years off of your life? And Isao's silent and he goes, "I'm well aware. Besides, this is a trial that the next generation..." Isao going, "I'm well aware." And then bald-headed German dude, who I gave a German accent to for some reason, goes, "Besides, this is a trial that the next generation must overcome." Okay, this is going to bother me. This is going to bother me the entire time if I don't make it so that this thing won't move. I just move my lamp over a little bit so it can wedge into it and keep it from moving too much. Besides, this is a trial that the next generation must overcome." And Kikoru is here in front of Kafka.
"Kafka Hibino, can you transform?"
No good. I've tried a bunch of times, but it's not working."
"I see. Could it be that number 9 is doing something to..."
And then number 9 just prepares his finger guns again. "Here it comes!" And both Kafka and Kikoru dodge out of the way of the finger shots.
Kafka Hibino! I'll heavily damage the target and halt its movements. If number 9 is hindering your transformation, then there should be a temporary reprieve while it recovers. I hate to admit it, but I need your power to beat this thing.
Roger! Let's do this! And they proceed to go to each of number 9's side.
No fair. Okay, then how about this?
And number 9 literally splits his head apart, and it creates it turns into 2 whole separate heads where it can both keep an eye on both Kafka and Kikoru. Much to her surprise, and Kafka almost gets shot by the finger guns again, and Kikoru dodges and blocks it with her knife.
I really can't predict what this thing will do.
And it shows another ant that is scurrying right past Kikoru. And number 9 shoots Kikoru directly in her midsection. Kikoru!
This one first.
And while number 9 is saying that, Kikoru, ignoring the fact that she's just been shot in her abdomen, launches at number 9, still bleeding, as he goes,
Ha!
And she slices I think she slices a whole bunch of his arms off. Yeah, she slices a whole bunch of his arms off.
I'm fed up with suffering losses without being able to do anything about it. This time for sure, I will do the saving.
And Kikoru just continues to cut this thing apart. And then bald dude in the command center is watching, going, "Oh, she's improved her skills so much. It's almost like watching her in her younger days, isn't it, Isao?" Is he insinuating that Kikoru's mother used to be a soldier as well? But Isao is silent, and that kind of gives me a little bit of a non-verbal confirmation. But then it cuts back to Kikoru, and she's thinking back in time, like we're having a flashback right here. Oh, this is a flashback of Kikoru. 2nd Division Captain Hikari Shinomiya smiles and waves to the cheering citizens after yet another successful kaiju neutralization. Clad in one of the Defense Force's strongest weapons, Numbers Weapon 4, she swoops through battlefields with the grace of a Valkyrie. This is Kikoru's mother. She was right. Oh, I was right. She swoops through battlefields with the grace of a Valkyrie. And I must say that I, Meow, am also a fan of hers. Mr. Meow, nobody asked about that.
Hey, wait, Kikoru, isn't that your mommy?
And then it has a whole bunch of kids around her, because this is Kikoru. It's showing Kikoru when she was a kid. And it shows other kids from her class going,
Really? Wow, so cool! Holy crap, your mom is the strongest around!
and then Kikoru is just wide-eyed, eyes glistening, so happy as she goes,
Yep, that's my mommy!
and then we cut to later that evening, back at their house.
Welcome back home, me.
Mommy!
As it shows Hikari. I think, yeah, it shows Hikari just plopping on the floor, and then we have Kikoru running in, and she just launches at her mother's face.
Mommy, welcome back!
And Kikoru just launches directly at Hikari's face, and she just latches on. Then we have a younger Isao going,
Come now, Kikoru. Your mother is too exhausted to...
Yay! You've done it now, gosh darn it! Have you been a good little girl, you little scamp?
and Hikari is holding her daughter, just swinging her around the room, and Kikoru is definitely enjoying this. And then Isao just relents because it's all like, well, her mother's playing with her daughter, so I might as well not interfere. He just gives up. He just immediately gives up.
Today, guess what? Guess what? We watched TV in the shelter, and everyone said you were cool, Mommy.
And then Hikari's silent, and she goes,
No one was hurt?
No.
That's great news.
and she just smiles at her daughter's face. Now, the thing that Kikoru immediately notices is that underneath Hikari's sleeve, it shows bandages. And then Kikoru is asking,
Did you get hurt?
Ah, shoot. I let it slip. Yeah, today's kaiju was a little strong, but I'm all right.
Mommy, I'm gonna join the defense force, and I'm gonna save you.
and both Hikari and Isao look at each other like, did our daughter just say that she wants to be in the defense force? And then Hikari just smiles.
Okay then, Kikoru. When you're in trouble, Mommy will save you.
And then we just hard cut to the funeral of Hikari. When you're in trouble, Mommy will save you. And we just immediately, the next page is literally her funeral.
This series of cataclysms caused by Kaiju number 6 has resulted in extensive damage. Most notably, the loss of 2nd Division Captain Hikari Shinomiya has cast a pall over the hearts of many. Without her selfless sacrifice, the damage would no doubt have been even greater.
And it shows Kikoru sitting in this chair while this funeral service is going on, next to her father, and she's just thinking,
Liar. Liar. I'm such a liar.
and it shows Kikoru as she's doing her best to fight back tears.
I said I would save her. I'm sorry, Mommy. I'm so sorry.
And then while Kikoru is crying, she tries to, talk to her dad, and she goes, and before she can actually get the whole word out, we see Isao's face, and it is not one of sadness. It is not one of, lack of emotion. It is just pure anger coming off of his face. And then Kikoru sees this, wipes her tears, and then she goes to herself.
I'm sorry, Mommy. I wasn't able to save you. But I'll make up for it by being the strongest.
And then we cut back to the present where she's slicing the limbs off of number 9.
I swear that on any battlefield I step foot on, no comrade will be dying on my watch!
But I'll make up for it by being the strongest. And I'll save everyone in your place.
And this is the resolve of Kikoru. This is the resolve of Kikoru. And that's the end of chapter 44. Onwards to chapter 45. Next chapter, please. Thank you. I didn't even hit the button correctly. That was on me. Chapter 45.
I'll become the strongest and save everyone in your place, Mommy!
And it shows Kikoru slicing the limbs off of... cutting the limbs off of number 9.
That almost got me.
And while she's hacking off all of these limbs, a big old giant bulging growth is right behind her with her going,
The ant's head?
"This is bad! It's taking away any place for her to stand!" And Isao's watching, and then it cuts to her close-up of her eye as Kafka comes in, and he sweeps the leg of the ant, but also appears to break his leg in the process. Kafka comes in, and he sweeps the leg. He sweeps the leg of the ant and makes it trip, but he also breaks his leg in the process. Kikoru! And then number 9 looks over as Kikoru comes in with her axe.
Squadron style axe technique. Number 6. Daruma Dropper!
And Kikoru is behind number 9 and proceeds to cut its body in numerous places. Head, through the shoulders, and then knees, and then straight through the toes. Straight through the toes. Straight through the toes. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. She just slices him in multiple pieces, and then she screams,
No!
"On it! I have a big chance thanks to my teammate. I'm sealing the deal here, once and for all!" And then it shows Kafka in the mindscape of, number 8, of Kaiju number 8, with that same creature that forced itself into his body just looming over him in this dark void. Huh? And then it shows Kafka's face as Kaiju number 8. Then it shows his eye. Then a snap of energy. This has got to be some sort of weird illusion, because the next panel we see is a page and a half spread of Kafka's Kaiju side having apparently taken over and killing everyone, pinning Kikoru to a wall, literally impaling her with his hand, and every other person that he's met. Mina, Ichikawa, Iharu, Aoi, the other guy, and he's just standing there over their basically murdered bodies. And Kafka is in this mindscape as he goes, "Ah!" And as he's screaming out, looking at his hand covered in blood, we cut back to the real world. And he's not able to transform. He's still going through this mental block of this kaiju, making him think that he's nothing but a monster, and that's the reason why he can't transform. This whole mental thing that's going on with him, it just keeps making things worse.
Kaiju number 8 has failed to fully transform again!
We had it wrong. Number 9 isn't doing this. This is... And then it shows number 9 having reconstituted his body into a weird, semi-exploding amalgamation as it prepares to shoot Kikoru and Kafka point blank. And there are shots fired from its fingers. We see Kikoru's axe being destroyed, Kafka being shot all over. This is fear! And showing his body shooting in another direction while bleeding at the same time. Fear of being absorbed by a kaiju. Fear of killing my comrades. My own fear.
So that's it? Don't you dare insult me like that!
As Kafka is on the ground, bleeding, Kikoru is still in front of him, gun drawn, still preparing to fight. And number 9 is preparing to shoot them both.
Don't you dare insult me like that! And not just me! That goes for Captain Ashino! Vice Captain Hoshina, Reno, and all our squad mates! And above all, yourself! How dare you! Don't insult the defense force like that!
And Kikoru is also thinking of her mother. She's right. I've been a fool. She's so strong and so cool. There's no way I could kill her. I gotta believe in my team! And as he screams out loud, standing up, number 9 looks over. And then it cuts to Kikoru standing there, and she looks back and she goes,
I swear, you are never on time, Kafka Hibino.
Because Kafka has gotten over his fear mental block, and he's fully buffed out, ready to go in his Kaiju number 8 state. And that's the end of chapter 45. Onwards to 46. Let's go. I'm ready. Let's go. Come on. Load up faster. Chapter 46. And it shows another ant kaiju being fired upon by other members of Eiji's team. We can't expand the front line any further. Don't allow them to leave the wrangle zones.
Sheesh, there's no end to them. We need something to break through this. Reporting in! Reporting in neutralization zone, western region. Kaiju number 8 has emerged!
So, he's here.
The operation will now move into the second phase.
Pardon me.
Will this be for better or worse? Maybe sending Shinomiya out there was the right call.
And it shows Kafka walking right next to Kikoru. And then we get 9.
I knew it. You are Kaiju number 8 after all.
And there's this beeping sound that starts to come out from number 9, and it causes the once deceased bodies of the ant kaiju all around to start twitching.
The Yoju we killed, they're...
And it shows Kikoru suddenly shuddering because kaiju number 9 causes the ant he's melded into to grow wings. It forced this kaiju to evolve suddenly.
It's further evolving! This thing's hiding even more powers!
Thanks, Kikoru. I'm still having problems trusting myself, but I know I can 100% trust you guys.
And even in this kaiju state, even though he can't really smile, he just closes his eyes and does that trademark anime smile like, everything's gonna be okay. He just smiles at her.
Fine.
Sorry, but do you mind taking care of the ants?
Since you're asking me to disperse the weaklings, you best win or I'll kill you.
You got it. I'll go kick its butt.
And then Kafka digs his heels in and immediately starts charging forward while Kikoru is covering him, taking out, distracting the ant kaiju from bearing down on him. And he goes from your regular sprint to like really down towards the ground sprinting.
You sure took care of me last time, didn't you, Kaiju number 8? Though, ever since then, I've grown thicker skin, literally.
And then Kafka is running. And then either his leg gets stuck, like something grabs him out of the ground to restrain him. And number 9 has evolved this ant to where its wings can become those just basically cannons now. Not unlike that of his finger, but the wings have essentially become cannons.
Now, I'm ready to kill you.
And before 9 can say anything, Kafka has blitzed the ant kaiju's body and ripped the core out. Kafka has already blitzed the ant and ripped its core out. And this immediately confuses 9.
What? This is the ant's core. Oh well.
And then Kafka just crushes the core in his hands.
From what I saw of your fight with Kikoru, your core is there in the ant as well, isn't it? No way.
And then, in desperation, 9 immediately starts shooting at Kafka. And the same way he did it in their first encounter, Kafka just starts punching away the finger bullets. He just starts punching all of them. Seeing that thing made me think. I haven't been able to draw out Kaiju number 8's powers at all. It's pretty ironic. As it shows Kafka suddenly moving at a speed that he starts running along the buildings. Hold up. He starts running along the buildings, and there's a hole in his heel. Like, there's a hole in Kafka's heel as he's running up along the wall while he's getting shot at. Then he jumps into the air. Wait, am I seeing this right? He's running on buildings, and then he just jumps off of a building and flips over an ant while still running across another building. Having it take control of my body taught me how to use my body better than before. And then Kafka lands on the ground in front of 9. I've got you! And Kafka is all the way above the building. He's in the sky now. He was just on the ground. He was just on the ground, and now he's in the sky. And 9 is looking up. Oh, that's what it was. He literally has Iron Man boosters in his feet. That's what the hole is. Because the hole in his heel starts crackling with energy, and it causes him to shoot straight down towards 9 with high speeds. What happened to him? Say your prayers. You're not getting away this time! Something about him has changed. And then as Kafka punches him, and he starts to crater and crush 9 under the force. And the thing is, 9 is holding its arms up in order to shield itself, but it starts getting crushed under the weight of Kafka. And the punch of Kafka not only craters the ground, but completely splats 9 and the ant he was meshed with. And that's how we end chapter 46. Onwards to 47, because I need to know how this goes. Chapter 47. And we just see the ant completely crushed. And then we cut to Kikoru, Isao watching, and then one of the science nerds going, "This is the natural form of Kaiju number 8! And then we get the bald guy next to Isao going, "This is tremendous." And then 9 starts to reform itself out of pieces of the ant. Ah, crap. I can't get my regeneration together. Need to reconvene with Beta and fuse together. And, oh, okay. So while it's splitting itself apart, it is actually weakening itself because it can't regenerate as fast being split apart. Core damaged. Come over to me to fuse now. And then the other 9, who's in a completely different separate place, goes, reconvene? Don't think I can make it right now. As that 9 is fighting, Narumi? Yeah, Narumi. It's fighting. I had to make sure that I was remembering the name correctly. Don't think I can make it right now. As it's fighting Narumi, who's just cutting this thing apart. Huh? I'm facing Kaiju number 8, though. I'm telling you to hold on. I'm learning right now. And then it cuts to someone chiming, I think it's Eiji chiming into Narumi going, Narumi, what's your status? What should we do in case number 8 goes berserk? Well, we can't leave the rookie Shinomiya to handle things by herself forever, can we? I'll head out. Unleash combat power, 98%. And 98%? 98%? Captain Narumi has gone full release, now designating perimeter as a restricted area. And it cuts to Narumi, who is cutting apart another 9, as 9 is thinking,
A blade that cuts and sears at the same time. Going to take time to regenerate. Got to gain distance and shoot him to death.
And before he says shoot him to death, this Nine's ant body gets shot all over it as well. And it's Naomi still. It's still Naomi. Not only is he good with a blade, but he's also using a gun. His gun blade.
He's gunning. Ah, so that's your custom weapon, huh?
And this Nine proceeds to try and shoot at Naomi, who not only blocks it, but also dodges it, while also taking pot shots while he's dodging.
He's slashing and shooting in waves. He has both long and close ranges covered. But...
And then Nine jumps onto a building and starts scurrying away, much to everyone's surprise, because more ants start rolling in. Yeah, more ants start rolling in. Yeah, more ants start rolling in, and he's slicing apart more of them, and then another Nine appears behind him going,
"Okay, I've learned."
And that's when Nine takes a pot shot at Naomi. It's adapting! And we see Naomi's face, and then a big old explosion from where Nine just shot. And Naomi jumps out of the air, but he's still airborne, as there are other fingers all over the building, all over the buildings all around him. And Nine has... Okay, so this other Nine, Nine Beta, has essentially forced the ant's arms to go into the ground, which allowed it to extend all over.
It's extending its body like roots.
Yeah, just essentially extending its body like roots all over the place, causing all of these polyps to show up, and pretty much for the entire intersection, plus a fair distance away to just be enveloped completely in an explosion. Captain Naomi!
It's evolving over the course of battle.
Indeed. It didn't resemble what was reported by the 3rd Division to begin with. As it engages with humans, it keeps learning and changing in response. Number 9, as a kaiju, operates like a virus.
It has attributes unlike any kaiju we've seen before. It's a major threat for sure.
And then everyone is just watching in amazement as we see this constantly evolving kaiju in front of them.
Well, that sure does sound scary. But it'll be okay. 'Cause I'm even more of a threat.
As Naomi is completely fine. Despite the damage all around him, he's fine.
Ah, he's unscathed.
And then Isao just leans forward because Yo, Ravi, it's good to see you. We are on chapter 47 of Kaiju number 8's volume 6. But Isao is just leaning forward with his hands on his head on his hands, just like, now we're about to see you work.
Alrighty then, now that my suit is nice and warmed up, I'd say it's about time to hunt.
As we get Naomi's eyes that appear to have changed, like the irises. The pupils and the irises have completely changed. They've slitted a little bit, and then it's gained like this little secondary iris color that has like a cross shape to it. And energy starts out of town. We'll watch VOD later. All right, Ravi, with you being out of town, stay safe and enjoy yourself. Or just stay safe in general if you're not there to have fun. But yeah, you stay safe out there. And this VOD will be waiting for you when you are available.
I'd say it's about time to hunt.
But Naomi's eyes have completely changed.
What is with your eyes? It's almost like they're kaiju.
And before Nine can say anything, Nine's torso is has a hole in it. It just has a hole in it immediately.
I thought I learned my way around that attack, but it...
And then we get like a full color full color final pages for chapter 47 with Isao going,
RT-0001. Gen Narumi's other customized weapon. Japan's oldest numbers weapon, crafted from the retina of number 1.
which allows him. Narumi has kaiju retinas that allows him, because it allows him to see the energy and basically the entire insides of a kaiju. He can see through them. That's the reason why all it takes is one hit from him for most kaiju. Because he knows exactly where the... No! This dude's got see-through wall hacks. He's got kaiju see-through wall hacks. He can see through kaiju, which enables him to hit the core immediately and aim for them. No, and it's in his eyes. It's not even a suit. It's in his eyes. This dude's got the Sharingan and the Byakugan all in one.
Japan's oldest numbers weapon, crafted from the retina of number 1.
And that's the end of chapter 47. Onwards to 48 while I get past this illustration page. Narumi, Kafka, Narumi, Kikoru, and Kafka. All right, onwards to chapter 48. I think we're making good time because the last chapter for this volume is 51, and we're already at chapter 48, so we're making very good time. Chapter 48!
Japan's oldest numbers weapon, crafted from the retina of number 1.
This isn't right.
And it shows number 8's body being blown apart over and over and over and over again.
I thought I learned my way around that attack, but I can't dodge it.
Did he get faster? No, that isn't it. Is he attacking me before I even move?
Then we cut back to Isao.
The future sight kaiju, kaiju number 1. It visualizes the signals emitted from a life form's brain that initiate physical activity. This allows it to predict a life form's actions before its body even moves. The records show that it was quite a fearsome kaiju that unleashed inescapable attacks.
This was a kaiju that could predict that could unleash attacks that it could always... This was a kaiju that had domain expansion surefire hits. This was a kaiju that could attack, and it would almost always hit because it would anticipate where people would dodge to in order to avoid it. And they managed to defeat this thing?
The records show that it was quite a fearsome kaiju that unleashed inescapable attacks.
I can see it. All of your signals are routing through a singular point, and that's your core. No good. I can't study him in time. Squadron style bayonet technique number 2. Slash salvo.
And Narumi just slices 9 all apart. Slices its body apart while shooting it in multiple spots and slices through 9's head in the process. Shocking everyone except for Isao. And then it just falls behind him. Captain Narumi! Kaiju number 8! They've destroyed the Honju! Readings from the regenerated Yoju are starting to fade one by one. And Eiji's team and the other girl's team, they're all listening in. As Isao goes,
No, not yet.
No, not yet!
because Kikoru says the exact same thing that Isao was about to say.
There are still some Yoju left. We will now transition to extermination duties.
And then Isao is just looking, eyes widened, as he's looking at his daughter take charge before he could even say anything.
Your daughter has grown strong, hasn't she?
It happened with Narumi as well.
The younger generation always surprises me.
Oh wait, this is still Isao.
The younger generation always surprises me. They so easily exceed my expectations.
As it shows Kikoru and everyone else just basically mopping up with all of the Yoju who are left. Then we come back to Eiji.
I'm shocked. In spite of the fact that two identified kaiju emerged at the same time, only 2 spots in our defensive line were breached. The damage was unbelievably minimal. This is... All Yoju have been neutralized. The Shinagawa neutralization operation is complete.
And it shows this half double spread, spread and a page and a half panel of Kafka and Narumi.
This is what General Director Shinomiya envisioned. His idea of the strongest division.
As it shows Kafka and Narumi. And then Kafka leaves his kaiju state. And then it cuts to Kikoru, who's looking at Kafka. And they both just give each other a fist bump. And then it cuts to Isao.
Narumi, Hibino, and you too, Kikoru. Well done.
And as soon as he says this, Kikoru's eyes light up. And Kikoru is looking at her like, ah! And she looks over at Kafka like, ah! And then he's just going like, and she gets very dangerously close to tearing up.
Proceed and make
I bit my tongue.
Proceed and make securing the safety of residents your top priority. Ensure that the site is entirely safe.
Roger!
Roger!
Then it cuts to Nanami, who is just looking. Hair is back down again, but he's going,
something here isn't right.
I'm going to kill you and take that great kaiju power for myself.
What that thing said to number 8. The killing part I get, but what about the other thing he said? What was that thing's goal? Was it really just to kill number 8? Or did it have another goal in mind?
And then we get a beeping sound. And it alerts both Kafka, Kikoru, and Narumi immediately.
What's going on?
A kaiju reading! We're currently looking into it!
So, I made it in time.
And we look over at the remains of 9 and it's speaking.
Too bad. Kaiju number 8. I wasn't able to kill you.
That lousy jerk, he won't stay dead! Gotta finish it off quick!
But I'll be carrying out my other goal. I'm going to take a great kaiju power for myself.
Oh, is he going after Narumi? Oh!
What are you talking about? I found them, a compatible user, and kaiju number 2.
He got to number 9, just appeared right behind General Isao. He's in the command center. He's in there with them. That's the end of the chapter. He's in there with them. Number 9 is in there with them. That's the end of 48. Almost to 49.
I'm going to take a great kaiju power for myself. What are you talking about?
And then 9's false body just falls apart. And then Kafka realizes, Captain Nanami, this isn't the main body! And then we cut back to the command center, where every single person in there is literally stricken with fear and can barely move as they go, oh no.
I found them, a compatible user, and Kaiju number 2.
And then Kafka's already in his kaiju state.
This one's just a decoy. The real target is
the general director? And Naomi is speeding as well. And then Kikoru is going, Daddy! And she immediately starts booking it as well. And then everyone is just silent with fear. And then Isao screams out,
all personnel, evacuate!
And then everyone starts running. And then 9's real body points a finger and shoots towards one of the same scientist that was, letting everybody know what's up. And Isao blocks it with his weapon case. That's a very durable weapon case for it to only dent just maybe a inch or two into the case. So, it's after number 2's power?
Itami, Nojizaka.
Ah, okay, so Itami and Nojizaka. Nojizaka is the eye patch, and Itami is the bald guy. So I can stop calling him the bald guy and the eye patch guy.
So it's after number 2's power. Itami, Nojizaka. Evacuate and lead everyone out of here. I cannot let it fall into its hands.
Don't be a fool! I'm going to fight too! And before he can say anything, Itami stops him.
We'll get in the way. We'll get in the way. I know it's frustrating, but that's the level of threat we're dealing with.
And Nojizaka is, beside himself with anger that he can't help fight. And that's when Isao opens up the case and puts both of those knuckle dusters on.
Didn't think Beta and Gamma would be taken out so quickly. They were supposed to be as strong as I was before I shed.
Because this is number 9's real body after it shed, and its body has changed color. While the other 9s we've seen before have had white bodies, or light-colored bodies. I don't know how number 9 looks in the anime. This 9, the main 9, number 9, has a darker shade to it.
They were supposed to be as strong as I was before I shed.
And then it cuts back in time to when Isao was speaking to Narumi and everyone else.
To create a division powerful enough to topple any and all kaiju. My plan was to take the initiative, but it seems your evolution is even greater than what I imagined.
Pardon me. I was trying to get that second one out. It was getting on my nerves.
My plan was to take the initiative, but it seems your evolution is even greater than what I imagined.
And they both lock fists with each other, pretty much blowing away everything in the entire room from their fists just meeting.
Hurry with the evacuation or we'll get caught in this! According to the third division's report, number 9's fortitude is 8.5. Even Isao, as he is now, might only be able to just manage it.
But then we see 9's muscles bulge even bulge even larger, and the next thing we see from 9's and Isao's fists meeting each other is 9 basically dropping Isao into the ground. Much to Itami's and Nojizaka's surprise, one punch, Isao is cratered. We see Isao's face, it's like his eye is bulging in one. Everyone is shocked. We see blood shooting out of Isao's arm because of the impact.
Did I get too strong?
And then Itami, eyes are beady and he's sweating, going,
Oh no, this is far beyond our estimations.
And Isao's eyes have whited over as 9 prepares to basically kill Isao. But before he can do that, a punch, an impact hits 9's arm and keeps it from moving, much to 9's surprise.
Nevertheless, I'm disposing of you right here today.
As it cuts to Hikari and Kikoru, him thinking of his wife and daughter. And Isao's hair's no longer, slicked back and neat. It's now disheveled. This man says, hey, I ain't hear no bell. He's still ready to fight. And that's the end of chapter 49. Onwards to 50. Let me double check and make sure that 51 is indeed the last chapter for this particular volume. Yeah, it is 51. All right, let's move on to 50. Chapter 50. And we get Naomi, who's trying to get in touch with everyone at the base.
Just hang in there, Mr. Isao.
And Naomi is moving so fast, he's dodging, he's literally denting in the roofs of vehicles on a road going in the opposite direction, because that's how fast he's moving. Hurry and evacuate! You'll get in Isao's way! And we have Isao standing in front of the evolved 9. Director General Shinomiya! The area has been evacuated. You need to evacuate as well,
That'd be pointless. This thing has the ability to track down my location. Escape isn't an option for me. You're the one who needs to leave.
Because it showed that there's that same scientist that's been relaying all this information to everybody. He's still there. My job is to aid you in victory. I will stay with you until the very end, sir.
Very well. Then let's go.
And then Isao just starts charging up with power. And the scientist that's there can feel that. A full release with an identified kaiju weapon puts so much stress on the user that it shortens their lifespan. But with the power they gain in return, it's like a Daikaiju emerging, but in human form. And Isao continues to clash with Evolve 9, causing so much wind to just rip through the entire room. This is number 2 fully released. This force is tremendous. And before he can say tremendous, we see the shock and recoil of Isao using that power from punching 9 is apparently not enough. What? Is it still not enough?
Yeah, that's good. This power is worthy of being mine.
And then we see Isao stomping into the ground, breaking the ground underneath it from the stomp.
Squadron style, combat technique number 4, Rising Blast!
And Isao proceeds to just basically uppercut 9's abdomen.
Number 1, Barrage Blast!
And then hits 9 in the face. Basically, and he takes off 9's head. He takes off 9's head. You see the spinal column, you see the jaw, it's just completely off. But 9 is still up and goes,
Excellent. Show me more.
And mind you, 9 doesn't have a head to speak, so I'm wondering where he's speaking from. And 9 proceeds to trade blow for blow with Isao over and over and over and over again.
Now bypassing right arm circuits to cover power output.
It's so strong!
It's so...
No, wait, this is Isao going,
It's so strong. But it's not just that. Each strike I make is hitting me with a hard realization. I've grown weak. My power is a mere shadow of its former glory. Back when I stood by your side.
and Isao is getting, he's managed to get hit in his stomach while he's thinking of his wife. Chest damage sustained. Power output down 5%. Trying to initiate recovery now. And then Isao is just getting punched all over by 9. It's no good. I can't keep up enough to provide cover for him. At this rate, he's not going to hold out long enough for Captain Naomi of the 1st Division to arrive.
We're going to beat it, Kurusu.
Huh?
I'll get killed if I go on the defensive for even a second. Route my remaining circuits towards offense and set them to max output.
And we see his arm like moving, his arm like flexing and moving, and then the gauntlets that are on his arms, I guess, are contracting on his arms. And Isao is gritting his teeth from this. He's letting number 2's muscles overtake his own to forcibly fix his left arm. You have to stop, sir! You'll sustain too much damage! You'll never fight again!
That's fine by me. The Defense Force already has an incredible next generation that is thriving. So for this one moment, in this one battle, I'm content with putting my life on the line to eradicate number 9. Just like what you did back then against number 6.
And he's thinking of his wife again. And it shows Isao bleeding from the nose and all over, but he's crackling with more power from his suit. And while this is happening, Isao, it looks like he's about to be hit by number 9, like straight on his back while he's still kneeling. And Kurusu is watching, and then we cut to Isao again, not unless he actually managed to... No, 9 actually hit him. 9 hit him, and it caused Isao to buckle from the hit. I had to correct myself. He actually did hit him. And Kurusu is watching. Isao is kind of reeling from this attack. And then we go back in time again.
Join the Defense Force, huh? Never would have imagined she'd suggest that herself.
It's only natural if you're born into this family. I say it's no big deal.
Says the man who obviously looked pleased as punch.
Excuse me?
Still, I can't help but feel a bit conflicted. It's an extremely dangerous line of work after all. But if she really does choose to go down that path, I plan on hardening my heart to train her, to instill her with the power to survive. Which means you'll have to take over, giving our little Kikoru lots of love and attention. Got that, Daddy?
And she says that to Isao, and we cut back to the present of Isao resisting the punch from 9.
I haven't been able to do anything fatherly for her.
And he just starts slowly rising as he's, oh, this is such an amazing moment! He starts slowly rising as he's lifting the punch off of him. Super high levels of electromagnetic energy within his body? Is this...
The least I can do is eliminate it with this strike! Eliminate this terrifying threat! So that it never exists in that girl's future!
And he proceeds to let out a single double-fisted blow on 9. that launches Evolve 9 straight off of its feet. And that's where we end chapter 50. And that's the end of chapter 50. Onwards to the last chapter of this volume. Chapter 51. Oh, and we have a cover page here with young Kikoru walking with her mom and dad, and she's just swinging on both of their arms. That's such a wholesome family moment.
I must eliminate this terrifying threat so that it never exists in that girl's future.
And he's thinking about when Kikoru was crying because back when Hikari died, he remembers that. A directed energy attack? That's what devastated Sapporo. Wait, that's what devastated Sapporo. Number 2's main burst. If you unleash that with your human body, you won't be able to keep up, Isao. And while he's unleashing this blast, we see Isao bleeding from more places. And we see 9 getting hit by this attack. And we see the core underneath 9's body. The core's exposed!
Excellent. But you see, I've prepared myself to endure this by evolving.
And 9 starts changing its shape. Number 9 is changing shape. It's trying to focus its entire body on defense.
That's too bad for you.
And then it just shows Isao. Mind you, this is just one punch. It wasn't like a double-fisted punch. It's just one punch. And that's with one hand. But 9 is saying,
that's too bad for you.
Because it shows Isao's other arm that was being, mended with number 2's muscle fibers.
Huh? Here's the second shot. There's no way a human is capable of that.
And then all we see is Isao then deliver the second blow. So it was the start of it, and then the other fist came in so he could deliver a second one. Basically, Soul Courts again. And it sends a gigantic shockwave, just a giant burst, going straight into 9, despite it changing its shape in order to go full defense. And the energy attack goes straight through 9, and then it goes through an entire building. It leaves a hole in a skyscraper, and then the skyscraper, because there's still inertia being carried from that attack, it suddenly just flies off of its foundation. Like a hole comes through, and then the speed of it was so fast that it drags the rest of the building with it. It not only does the building come flying off, but the area behind this building just completely lights up the sky as that energy attack explodes in the distance. And the wind is so vast. The wind is so vast and so powerful that it blows everyone away. And then Kafka notices because he's running.
What was that?
And as he's running, he sees Naomi directly next to him, who then Naomi doesn't even look at Kafka. He just proceeds to run towards the base. And then Kafka just, runs along with him. Then we get back to Kurusu.
Ow! Ow! The Director General, is he?
And it shows a drone that flies into the air, and all we see is just the destroyed remains of 9, still trying to stand up on one shattered leg. And then we get 9's body as it comes out of the remains going,
not even my powered up body could fully withstand it.
And then 9's body just falls apart on the spot.
He did it.
Too bad, though. This is the human limit.
No, I felt in my spirit that this was too soon for number 9 to be brought down like this, because 9 is still very much alive, because his core is still there. How's it going, Q? Hey, Aiden! Working a 13-hour shift today. Your beginning after the end read-through is saving my sanity. Hey, I'm grateful that my read-throughs are able to keep you company during these long shifts. The read-throughs and playthroughs of other people's YouTube channels kept me going when I used to work at Harris Teeter. So I know where you're coming from. I'm happy my stuff can do that for you. Very, very happy to hear that. It does my heart good to know that people can listen to me to help their day go by faster when they're at work. So, yeah, enjoy. Just enjoy. I'm prattling on. Let me get back to the remainder of this chapter, and then we're done with today's reading of Kaiju number 8.
Too bad, though. This is the human limit.
Because 9's core is still intact, and it's starting to regenerate it again.
If you had a kaiju body, I would have lost.
Director General, you have to fall back! And Kurusu realizes that General Isao, he's barely able to move.
One attack. Just one more attack. Come, number 2. Come back to the kaiju side.
As number 9's body starts to extend and looks like it's preparing to grab on and potentially consume Isao, much to Kurusu's horror. And then there's an explosion. There's an explosion, and we get Narumi and Kafka. Yeah, we get Narumi and Kafka, and we get Narumi going, "Mr. Isao, is he?" And then a flake drops down, and Kafka looks, and we see the body of 9 laying on the ground with Isao standing above it. There's a giant crater with smoke emanating from that spot, and Isao is standing over number 9. No words are said. We just see Isao standing over its body. Yo, Ginger, good to see you. Have a good rest of your day. Keep it. It won't even let me see what you're saying. Hold on, let me see. Have a good rest of your day. Keep it up. Thank you. It wouldn't let me see it on the mobile app, which is what I used to see your chat, people in chat, because it has this heart emoji that's directly in the way of the chat. Can I move this? Is there any way to move this out of the way? Because I don't want it here. It's so annoying. But we have General Isao standing over the smoldering, smoking remains of number 9. There's a reason why I'm not going to say like, "Oh, he brought it down," because a thought just came up into my head. And I'm going to wait until the next volume for me to voice what I think this is. I'm going to wait until the next volume. Overall, this was a very good volume for Kaiju number 8. Things are getting even more frantic. Kafka has finally gotten over his fear of running wild, so that way he can use his kaiju form again. We understand why Narumi is so powerful. He's got a suit that he can operate at 98% of power, and his retinas are literal precognition retinas from Kaiju number 1 that allowed it to anticipate what people were going to do due to the brain signals sent throughout the body, which made it unleash attacks that barely anyone could avoid. So that's the reason why Kaiju number 1 was so hard to defeat. But the strongest Japanese Defense Force soldier has the eyes of being able to predict what a kaiju is about to do. So that already makes Narumi one of the coolest characters just from powers alone. But now we have Isao giving his all in order to bring down 9, and now we have General Isao standing over 9 at the end of this volume. Like I said, I'm going to wait until the next volume to voice what I think happened with this. Because I got an idea in mind, and I really want the next volume to confirm that. So we'll see. Overall, I enjoyed reading for you guys today. We actually got through this volume pretty quickly. Yeah, only been like an hour and 10 minutes. I got through this volume with minimum slowdown, which is pretty good. Overall, I'm looking forward to volume number 6 next Monday, which will be the day after my birthday, because my birthday is this upcoming Sunday, and I'll be officially 33. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am old, as some people would have you believe 30 is apparently, but turning 33 this upcoming Sunday, and we get Kaiju number 8 after that. So I'm looking forward to reading what happens next. All I can say to everyone here, from my members, my moderators, and everybody in between, Ravi, Aiden, Ginger with a side of ninja, all I can say to you is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples. You turn 24 next week. Congratulations! But be careful putting your age out there on the internet. See, I'll say my age, but you be careful. Everyone, please be careful putting your age out there on the internet, because some people can be weird if they find out you're a certain age. Just a safety precaution. It's a safety precaution. But yeah, later, peoples!